going on, man? This is Ice Nigma.
Yeah, and this is T Nigma, and this is Enigmas Unchained.
What it do, my people? This is T Nigma with Enigmas Unchained, and we are back for season 6. This is episode 1, and we have quite a fun and contentious situation right now. We just got done watching the first 2 days of E3, which were freaking underwhelming. So we're gonna talk about that today, and I have with me Matt from Geek Syndrome. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing wonderful, sir.
Yes, sir. Plug yourself.
Excuse me. My name is Matthew. I am one half of the duo known as Geek Syndrome, where we talk about anything that we can think of and drop an episode once a week on Friday. We just started our YouTube page, so please be sure to check that out, Geek Syndrome, just like the name on the podcast. You can follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever that you listen to podcasts. Tune in to us once again every Friday, and I'm sure you have a good time.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. And I also got on Steals Forever.
What's going on, guys? Shit, what's going on, dude? It's your boy Steals Forever, aka the King of Geeks, and you can catch me right now primarily on YouTube. That's going to be youtube.com/Steals Forever. I'm definitely going to be uploading some new content this week, so probably around about Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah, I've been on a little vacation, so yeah, I got a lot to talk about. You know, just different stuff. So yeah, definitely check out my YouTube channel.
Oh, and it's gonna be fire this week, bro. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be
It's gonna be fire this week. So what we're talking about today is a pertinent situation. You know, like right now, this is like I'm calling this the E3 intermission. Why gaming is becoming predictable, because we have gotten to a point now where it feels like I could close my eyes and tell you what's gonna happen next in gaming without even trying to do no critical thought or nothing now. So we just got done watching, like I said, the E3 presentation for Xbox, Bethesda, Square Enix, and maybe WB, because I don't know if that even happened today. I mean, we're still kind of perplexed about that whole layout. And then PC, I stuck around for that too, but no offense, guys who play PC, it's dead. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're just pouring out a drink for you, and your wonderful specs. Just pouring out a drink, because now you got to the point you're begging people for playing consoles and games. That ain't living, buddy. You know what I'm saying? That's Papa life. That's not a master race. But yeah, you know, so we're now at this place, you know, like we saw this whole situation happen and play out with IGN. I mean, with E3 and IGN and GameSpot, the rest of the guys like all out there reporting and singing the praises of everybody. Oh, this game was great, Greg. And they're like, oh, it was a great game. I'm like, it's great. I know Greg. I'm like, Greg, don't do this. I know the chat. I know the chat. Don't do this to yourself, bro. Because like he already caught the bad rap for Avengers. I don't know if y'all know that. You know, it's like he said Avengers was fire, and people have not let that go. They're like, homie, you ain't burning us again.
Shame on you.
Yeah, they're like, bro, we ain't listening to you right now. So all right, so how about this? I'm gonna go down this list of games, and I'm just gonna get y'all reaction, because it was a lot of games that Microsoft put out with no gameplay, mind you. But lots of trailers though, lots of graphics. You know what I'm saying? Gotta have the graphics going, you know. But I'm like, okay, but where's gameplay though? I'd like to see some games. But yeah. So beginning, you know, we had Starfield. Talk to me.
Okay, so a beautiful cinematic trailer.
Oh, absolutely.
Beautiful cinematic trailer. But as far as where we need to be at Starfield, like where we need to be at, we ain't there. Starfield was announced years ago.
Yeah.
What, how many years ago?
Now? 3 or 4, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
3 or 4 years, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so Starfield was announced years ago, years before the acquisition of Microsoft buying Bethesda.
Yes.
And you mean to tell me after years of this thing just sitting on the shelf, the only thing you have for me is a cinematic trailer? I mean, it's just not enough. There should have been at least 3 minutes of gameplay that they can put out there for us to see what the game actually looks like. And then the biggest kick in the teeth is that the game won't be out, until November 2022. So we got like another 18 months to wait on this game.
Yeah, we got
a year and a half.
Year and a half, man.
Yeah.
So, okay, so your cinematic trailer, great. That's, what you showed looked awesome. But I think for what I read from one of the developers, they said, hey, this game is basically going to be Skyrim in space. And that's just going to be No Man's Sky. That's going to be No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky did it better.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, they're doing it better right now. I mean, hate all you want, but No Man's Sky is a phenomenal game.
Because if they say base building, and they say, hey, it's base building in here. Okay, so why don't I just get No Man's Sky? So we'll see. I don't want to go too hard on them because I don't have nothing to rip apart or analyze. I don't have nothing to cross-examine. So I'll just say, hey, great cinematic trailer, and I got my eyes open for what they're gonna have next. But I'm not amped about it at this moment.
Okay, still talk to me.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing like Matt said. I was disappointed. Because, I mean, that was the one game that I was looking forward to that was like a new game. Like that was a new game that was hyped up. And it's the first thing you show, it's the very first game you show in the starting off your conference. So most time the first thing you show and the middle thing you show and the last thing you show is your best three things.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so when they leaked it, and it was like, that was all. I'm like, that's all? Like, like how Matt said, we've been waiting for 3 years and we didn't get like no gameplay. And even more than just not even gameplay, we didn't even get like what the game is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's been my whole argument for the last couple of years about the game. Like, what is the game? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? Like, they haven't said nothing about it's going to be first person, third person, open world, RPG, action RPG, survival horror. Like they literally have said nothing about the game. And I made a joke a couple weeks ago, like it could just be Fallout 76. You know what I'm saying? Because most time I always feel like when you start hiding stuff, or not being as vocal about, because if it's Skyrim in space, I mean that's something to brag about. Because people love Skyrim. Like I'm not really the biggest fan of like Skyrim or Elder Scrolls like that, but most people are. So if you just like, hey, this is what this game is. We don't really have gameplay, but we can give you a narrative of what it is. Basically, it's first person, third person, like an Elder Scrolls game, offline, all this stuff, and they haven't really said anything. So you're kind of like, looking like are y'all kind of like trying to stop a train wreck? Like, is this game really an online service game that y'all trying to be really quiet about?
Man, I didn't think about it like probably turning into an online server, but it is Bethesda, so it could happen. Yeah, it could actually happen.
And I'm not really anti against all the own service games, but like, I keep saying like, if you're gonna make an online service game, at least have a beginning and end point, and then at least come in knowing that at least I hate to say this because I'm not really in the we're not in good terms with Bungie and stuff right now, but it's like at least with Bungie, at least they put out a game and then they would have a season pass. So you at least knew whether you liked it or not, you had content for a year. You knew that. You knew there was content for a year, regardless of how much content was coming, but there was content. And like a lot of these own service games, it's just like, we're going to put the game out knowing we need more content, but we'll worry about the extra content later. And then a whole year goes by like it's a regular game, or like this is a base regular game, and then they feed you content. So I don't know.
See, my thing is, and Bobby, I think you're right, man, when you say about this service thing, because the thing about what we learned about service games is that they come out broken, right? They all come out broken. I don't know whether they try to make the servers work, they try to make the multiplayer work, wherever that may have it. It's just they just don't work day one, and they had to be passed to oblivion to work. And it's the same thing with Fallout 76. Either that new engine they have is just not working properly, and they almost have to break it down and rebuild it back up, or they just can't get the multiplayer to work right without it crashing and burning. So there's something up with it, man. And historically, we can look at what happened to Halo. Look at how Halo wasn't ready to go when they showed that thing, a year and a half ago, something like that. How it wasn't ready to go. Yeah. And so I'm thinking, like you said, they're playing damage control. Starfield is not in the place that it needs to be at all. It's probably, you know how Cyberpunk had that bug montage. They probably got a bug montage running right now.
I'm gonna be honest with you now. Like I don't think a lot of people caught this. Now I may have heard the wrong thing because I haven't had time to go back. But if you go back to that Halo, when they showed the Halo video, right when they kind of like showed at the end of what it was, there was two different boxes. There was a multiplayer box and then there was a story box. Mm-hmm. And they didn't say per se campaign.
Yeah, they didn't say campaign.
They kind of labeled it like as a seasonal story.
Yep.
Like seasonal story that's going to be like, we want to give you 2 hours of story and then catch you next quarter where we break down basically like a season pass. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not quite sure. I should have went back and listened, but I'm 100% sure I heard it that way. They just didn't come out and say campaign.
I think you heard it right because they said free to play for the multiplayer. They made sure that was made plain that for the multiplayer that it would be automatically free to play. So it's like, okay, so what does that? Because like we have a game already as an example, which is Call of Duty. Call of Duty has a campaign mode, but it's not campaign mode. It's not the same rhythm as we would normally have in a regular Call of Duty. So, in that same, it might more than likely is going to be in that same vein where it's like it's force feeding multiplayer, which I told you, like people who listen to this podcast know I don't like multiplayer like that. I'm not saying that I hate it. I just don't. I mean, I would prefer to have a game that's more engaging than me like having to figure out how to do stuff with other people all the time. I don't mind if we have to do it all, if this is an optional part. But the problem I see a lot of these things is that it's literally required. You can't skip it. You have to do it. You're like, okay. So in order for me to have fun with this game, I have to log on and wait and do. I'm like, no. I'm not that type of gamer. I don't like waiting on nobody else to have fun. I'm like what's up with that? So that's the same problem with Outriders. All these games right now. Yeah, same problem with Outriders. And Outriders are so bad that the joint just crashes, even when you get your. I see
perfect example. I was saying though, like even, and that's one thing. Like we're talking about like just the messaging in gaming. Like I forget the people that fly. Okay, they basically came out and said this is not an online service game. That was their whole message up front. Now, as they said that, I kept saying this is an online service game because in my mind, like, what else could it be? Like, what kind of game promotes getting loot and building and character building online with your friends and not be an online service game? Right. So it's like, so you put the game out, which is fine, and then it's like, what's next though? So here we are, 3, 4, 5 months in, and there's no path for the game. Everybody's done with it. Right, because that's the way they played it. It's like you're gonna create these games like Division and Destiny, because basically these are MMOs. And I called this out a year ago. This is basically casualized MMO
almost
games.
To the date.
Right, this is casualized MMO games. So where's the content? That's why I went back and started playing Final Fantasy 14 and left right, because if you're gonna play an MMO, the whole concept of the game is to build a character, and then every 2 or 3 months have content that you can go back and keep playing and playing and playing. Yeah. So it's not about like, if I want to play a single player game, then I buy Assassin's Creed or I buy God of War, and then Ratchet and Clank, which I'm playing Ratchet and Clank. You play Ratchet and Clank, you play it for 12, 14 hours, whatever, you platinum it, and that's the end of the game. But you can't sell a game on the ideal of it being like the game Ubisoft just announced. I forget the name of it. It's called where you're tracking the aliens down. XCOM? No, it's a Rainbow Six like siege Outbreak? Game. Yeah. Is it Outbreak? Yeah, Outbreak. Yeah, Outbreak. Like, it looks cool. You got friends you play with. Oh, you talking about Yeah. They announced that the Ubisoft Forward thing. But it's like, is there
Ubisoft
gonna be
has stuff. That is right. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there gonna be content?
Ubisoft backwards is what that was.
Content. That's just rounding this off. I don't want to venture out too far, but it's just kind of like that. I'm kind of wondering what Starfield is like. In my mind, like, because I just feel like I know Bethesda and I know Microsoft, and if you really in a game that's been worked on for like 4 to 5 years, there's more to show that they just don't want to show, and there has to be a reason why it's not being shown.
Thank you. Because like you said, Bobby, something is amiss, man. Something is amiss. I mean, historically, I guess we're getting to the age now where we're gaming historians, if we break it down and we look at it.
Pretty
Historically,
much.
anything that has a development cycle that's longer than 5 years, maybe, even if you look at what happened with like Sony, not Sony Ben, with Days Gone. Look what happened with Days Gone. If you got anything that has an extended development cycle past 5 years, something is wrong.
Yeah,
something ain't right. And they literally have to have the time to fix it. And, look at Outriders. Not Outriders. Excuse me. What was the last game?
Yeah, that's Cyberpunk, bro.
Cyberpunk. Yeah, Cyberpunk. That's what I was thinking about.
That's your biggest example. It's like Cyberpunk was in development for almost a decade.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
look at it.
It's messed up, bro. I mean, like, and this is related to Starfield, but I just turned it on. And I've already beat the game, right? The city is dope. You know what I'm saying? Night City is dope. But it's so, you feel empty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like you feel empty. You just like why am I doing? And it's crazy because when I played the game, I played through. I haven't beat it in each, but I played each class as beginning, right? Mm-hmm. And I was playing each class. Like, why didn't they just leave it alone and let you go the path that they chose for you and not shoehorn in Keanu Reeves? Because to me it felt like you had a far greater story not having what's the Latino dude name? Nikki. Not having Nikki and not having Keanu Reeves being every single gameplay and just letting me live my life as this particular person, given the conflict and then finding a way to climb back up to the top. Cyberpunk would be phenomenal. But no, we gotta have Keanu Reeves. We gotta throw in this convoluted terrorist story where he's like some type of dude, and it ruined the entire experience. You know what I'm saying? Like so I mean that, and I got that same sneaking suspicion watching that dude turn on his ship in Starfield, and I was like, where you going? You know what I'm saying? Like we don't even know where this cat going. He's just I'm just gonna turn on my ship.
Well, I mean, I was making a joke to my friend. I was like, I know Bungie somewhere is like, are we a joke to you? Because that's what the Cinemax was. It was Destiny 1. Like if you remember when the Traveler first come, like it shows mankind being normal, and then they meet the Traveler, and the Traveler blooms in or blossoms in the golden age, in space and stuff.
Absolute fact. Yeah, absolute fact. I mean, like even the name Starfield as an RPG, it kind of pissed me off because there's another game. It may not be as well known, but Star Ocean.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, Star Ocean was dope, man.
You know what I'm saying? But the name, Starfield, I'm like, that don't even make sense. I mean, like, so like they haven't given us context on why they're calling this game Starfield.
Yeah.
Star Ocean makes the most sense because it's just a long, dark sea of stars. So I get that, but a long, dark field of stars, what are you trying to say to me?
What's the dude name from Bethesda?
Todd Howard?
Yeah, Todd. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, just what Trevor was saying. Like, you could explain through a narrative what the game was without showing what the game is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
give me something.
Right. And that's when I was just saying, like, something is off with that game because of that. Like, they don't want to commit to telling you what the game is.
Until about drops.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's something you hiding. Because, like, if I was on stage presenting, I could be like, this has been a long time coming. This is what it is. Like, I can tell you what it is. Like, it's a first person narrative, third person, it has that flexibility. What the game is, so you already know what it is. Like, you don't know, you can't visualize what it is because you haven't seen it, but you know what it is.
Yeah,
like and that's what they stray away from. Is like, well, here's some more footage, here's some more not footage, but here's some more trailers. Yeah, and we'll see you in 2022.
Yeah, like hopefully,
if you look at it like this, there's always a play on the name, right? So Starfield. So you look at that, and then you look at what Microsoft is right now. A Game Pass game isn't necessarily a game. It is a game where three or more people can play together. Right. Yeah. So Starfield is going to have some type of co-op aspect to it, and going back to like what Bobby said, like something is absolutely wrong. I just don't think they can get this 4-player co-op thing to work, man. I think there's an issue. I think there's a problem. And I think what they're trying to do is in this 4-player thing, instead of it making it simple, like, hey, here's a gun, here's a mission, here's a story. right? A narrative that you can control and be a part of, like a Skyrim or Elder Scrolls game. They're trying to shoe in a function that nobody wants. Like, okay, go to Fallout 4, the building aspect. Nobody wanted that. Nobody wanted that thing. I can't find anybody who played Fallout 4 besides an insane person that says, I enjoy building my town. I enjoy building a fort in my town, in Fallout 4. Look at, I put this water tower over here. That person is a madman or a woman. Because we're gender neutral here. Crazy.
On the real, you are on some facts. Because I remember, I mean, look, Bethesda games in general are predictable. And that's been my problem with Bethesda. Bethesda, you pop in Skyrim, you're gonna have the worst voiceovers you've ever heard. You already know you're gonna have bugs that let you glitch through mountains. You already know that the magic system is gonna be overpowered when you start, and then when you start getting good at it, they underpowered. You know that when you buy Fallout, that half the mechanics don't work. You already know when you buy Fallout that your suit is probably gonna glitch out, and you're gonna glitch outside your suit. You know when you buy a Fallout game that when you go to build stuff starts disappearing. You know these things are gonna happen before it happens. It became a joke.
Yeah.
It became an actual joke in gaming where people are like, oh man, it's Bethesda games. So you're gonna get glitches. So when I look at Starfield, and I'm like, you're trying to sell me on Starfield. No gameplay, no premise,
nothing,
no mission, no purpose, and you have 1 year, 18 months almost to get this game out and to show me something, right? So that means you got till I'm gonna be done in a moment. You got till next June to tighten this up and to show gameplay. But by then it's too late because Cyberpunk did this exact same thing. They were showing all the goddamn directs. Now they were doing that you walk through the city, but they weren't showing like actual gameplay. Right. They just showing suckers walk through the city. And I'm like, we've been through this enough now as gamers to know that there's something wrong. And to take the rose-colored glasses off your eyes and just call a spade a spade. These suckers ain't got no plan. Go ahead, Bob.
No, it's like, because you know why? Because but I know we could be wrong, but my thing is like, they knew if they would have showed any type of multiplayer co-op functions in Starfield, that it would have tainted. Because people really, like, you gotta think about it. Fallout 76 are basically bankrupt almost Bethesda.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so, and Microsoft wants to sell consoles. It's kind of like the same thing how you were saying with Cyberpunk. Like, well, we're not going to show you last gen because we want you to keep pre-ordering it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like Microsoft, like, we're not gonna make you mad yet because we got a year and a half to sell you the Xbox consoles.
Yeah, because this is our Game Pass. Yep.
Right. Because you just think about, like, they got a year and a half. If they would have showed that right now and people would have walked away like, hey, Starfield sucks, it's Fallout 76 again, we're done.
Yep.
Then you lose console sales. Like, people are really hyped now. Like, Fallout, it's like how everybody was Fallout 76 when they were singing the little Virginia song and, and all that Kumbaya stuff.
Trash.
Right. It was like one of the greatest games that was going to be dropped. You know what I'm saying? And they had all kind of paraphernalia out for it and stuff.
Oh, trust. Don't forget Fallout 76 is just what they had liquor. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. This is a huge thing.
They had liquor for that thing, man.
Yeah, like in hindsight, you look at it, it don't seem that way because everybody it's a joke now.
Yeah.
But coming in,
hype city, baby.
Yeah.
Hype city.
Yeah.
Couldn't get no higher than that.
Well, think about it. Cyberpunk had this exact same approach, where like a year in, like 2019, before the pandemic hit, they were doing small directs. And I remember being at E3 in 2018, and they had a booth room. They had a secluded room upstairs where they gave people figurines and stuff like that. The female, they had the blades out. You know what I'm saying? They were giving like people the figurines and stuff like that when they came upstairs to play it, but it was such a controlled demo. The demo was like mad controlled. And I remember asking people like, yo, how was it, man? They said, we can't really even tell you because, it was maybe a couple of scenes. And I was like, I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm like, okay. So I'm wondering, because I can't wait to hear what the journalists and them are going to say coming out of this E3, because this E3 already is weird because it started on like a Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Normally E3 starts on a Monday, like Sunday, Monday. You know what I'm saying? It goes until Thursday, but this one ends on Tuesday. So we're already off whack, like on a regular schedule that they would normally do at E3 because of COVID and all the rest of stuff. So, you know, I'm wondering what the journalists will say about like sitting down with devs and stuff like that and not just talking points, because we have not gotten any information about what this game is about. Like on the real, that joint bothers me.
That's one of my issues with you brought up the journalists. That's what really like had me feeling some type of way today, because like, you know, I've been watching E3 since like, forever. You know, forever, dude. Like, yeah, for real. And you know,
20 years deep for me.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then, you know, and I'm not the biggest Xbox guy, but I'm not the hater of Xbox either. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a 360. I played the hell out of my 360. So I just know that's what, and I got like a whole shelf of 360 games sitting over here, you know, to the side. So, but to hear like these journalists, IGN, all these guys, Paris, all these guys, like just like this is the greatest E3 of Xbox history. I'm just like, I'm just sitting there like how? Like, even if you go back to the original Xbox One E3 when it was launching the note, like showing the Xbox One, they literally showed Halo, they showed Forza, they showed Dead Rising, they showed Rise Son of Rome, they showed Titanfall. You know what I'm saying? Like you're right. And they all had gameplay footage and they all had release dates and they all stuck to those release dates.
They did.
And I'm like, how do you get this being the best Xbox conference and they haven't even showed anything?
Yeah.
Like you said, Bobby, like I think personally, I was an Xbox dude before I ever was a Sony guy. I mean, just flat out, just be 100% real. And, you know, somewhere along the lines, I converted. I had the OG Xbox. Matter of fact, it's never been an Xbox I haven't owned. I got the Series X. I remember. Yeah, I got the Series X 2 weeks ago. I've owned every Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Every single Xbox. Yeah, that's damn right. I even had some special Xbox consoles.
Your ball was an apologist, Bo. I mean, you know, look.
I was in the field, man. Like I really like Xbox, and I want them to be somewhat successful from what they want for. I actually want Starfield to be a hit. I want the games they release to be a hit. But if you take the rose-colored glasses off and you actually analyze what they're doing, this is a void year for Xbox. Yeah. Last year was a void year for Xbox. Yeah. The only game on Game Pass that is worth a damn is MLB The Show.
And that's a Sony game.
That's a Sony game. We all know what's up with Outriders, right? We know what's up with Outriders, you know, okay. So we got Halo coming out and we got Forza coming out. So without playing Forza, I know we'll probably talk about Forza soon.
We gonna get there.
I'm not gonna rip Forza. I'm talking about Forza. I'm gonna say some nice things about Forza. Yeah. When it comes to Halo, I'm gonna rip Halo a whole. Yeah, I'm gonna get into Halo because So I got Game Pass, and I say, you know what? Hell, I ain't gonna buy a damn. I'm not gonna buy a damn game for my Xbox Series X. I'm gonna buy this Game Pass for a year. I'm gonna see what it do. And so I wanted Game Pass to pay for itself. Game Pass don't pay for itself in 2021.
It don't.
It does not.
It don't.
It does not pay for itself in 2021.
It don't. I mean, like you're getting games that are like maybe at average 8 years old on Game Pass right now. Yeah. And so it's like no offense, bro. I understand the whole backwards compatibility argument and all that. That's cute. Yeah, whatever. But once again, you always come back to the well where you say, you know what, maybe there should be something new out here. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you a funny story that has been confirmed, but it's absolutely hilarious. You know, the scalpers, you know, they've been running they're ravaging gaming right now. You know what I'm saying? Copying every Xbox Series X and every PS5, right? Well, there are reports coming out of multiple countries, especially in the UK and also parts of America, that they cannot even sell their Xbox Series X. So now they're just selling them for regular price. Yeah. Because nobody wants the freaking system. So when you already sabotage your own sales by telling people that you don't even need an Xbox to play Game Pass, right? And then you give people these immensely crazy discounts for like a year.
It's only $1, man.
It's only $1.
Then fools like me pay for it.
Yeah, like
Only idiots like me with money pay for it. My dumb ass.
You are a rare one because everybody I talk to, like when I'm like, yo, how much you paid for? I only paid $2 for the next 2 years, and I'm like, do you not understand that this is Dreamcast all over again?
Yeah.
Like on the real, this is what Dreamcast did before they died. Like they were at the point where people could literally just burn games and pass them out. Mm-hmm. This is the same situation, and I'm like, we there's nothing new under the sun. We've seen this stuff in gaming happen already. And I'm like, we are watching a sunrise and a sunset in a situation right now, and people are refusing to see the warning signs.
Well, you know why? Because we live in America, right? So I'm not speaking for everybody. So we're just talking about a broad census.
Yeah.
Like Microsoft's selling point is, save your money at some level and buy Game Pass, and you can download all these wonderful games for free, play together and all this stuff. But this is just not the world we live in. Mm-hmm. That's, that's like for somebody who's on a budget. Like, so it's like Golden Corral. Like when you don't know what you want to eat, you go to a buffet, and you get average food because you got so much food on the buffet. So it's average. It's not bad, just not fantastic. When you know what you want, you don't need buffet because you go specifically to that restaurant that specializes in what you want. So if you want steak, you go to a steakhouse. If you want seafood, you go to a seafood. If you want Japanese, Asian, Chinese, you go there. And this is what Microsoft, this is what goes back to that problem I've been saying Microsoft has had for years now. That the gamers the gamers that they're selling to is even more casual than the Fortnite player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because at least the Fortnite and the Warzone players know that, hey, I just like playing Fortnite.
Yep.
That I just play Minecraft. Ain't no shame. These guys here that we're dealing with don't like, if you put Devil May Cry on the Game Pass, they're going crazy. Oh, Devil May Cry's on. Where was you 3 years ago? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when that game came out 3 years ago, and you can't bring up the $59 argument.
No,
because if a game is 3 years old, I'm pretty sure it was on sale at some point for like what, $19, $15.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the games that they're giving you, just like the Yakuza game, Yakuza's right here, June 13th. Like a Dragon. I done seen Yakuza on sale for $29 multiple times. Yeah, that's when I bought it.
And
it was $29.
And I was talked into it in this phenomenal game.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's
I'm not saying it's bad. But it's like if you was really hyped for Yakuza, why wouldn't you have played that earlier?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, I get that sometimes games get by you, and you say, well, I didn't get to that one, so I would want to play it. But it's like this whole approach to Game Pass doesn't work because of that.
Yeah.
Not if it like they're trying to create something that works in the music industry because all the music is under one umbrella. Mm-hmm. And so I can listen to Drake on the same thing. I can listen to Jay-Z. I can listen to rock, country, J-pop. It's all in the same app. With this Xbox Pass, it's not. Mm-hmm. What they're giving you is too spread out over a long, lengthy time to have value to it.
Yep.
Because you're going to be focused somewhere else. Like you're going to be like, I'm playing Ratchet and Clank, or I'm playing this game, and I'm playing this Nintendo game.
Yep.
And then it's like, there's, like I said, Yakuza Like a Dragon, maybe Dark Alliance, Hades, maybe. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, man. It's just like, it's like they're that desperate.
Yep.
They're that desperate just to say, hey, we don't have games. But then at the same time, you look at them and you say, going back to Bethesda, like, if you took Bethesda out the conference, then you have to say, and that's why I was getting mad at Dustin and all them. Like, what has Microsoft been doing?
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because if they didn't buy Bethesda, then they wouldn't even have Starfield and Elder Scrolls and Outer World 2 and any of this stuff they're showing that they showed today. They wouldn't have had any of it.
Nothing. All this stuff was in development before they bought it.
And this stuff is still in development. So like Nat, that's what I'm saying. So we'll be on Starfield for another hour. So so let's move on. So Stalker 2, which that's just quick. Nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? I'm like who cares, bro? I mean,
that's coming to PlayStation though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a console. Yeah, that's coming to PlayStation.
That's not an exclusive, So they have a release date. It's supposed to be April of 2022. We'll see what happens with that. The Back 4 Blood, which I've already said, WB pretty much didn't even have a showcase because all they showed was Back 4 Blood. So I'm like, if you're drilling this message this hard to make me like it, I'm already not gonna like it because to me it shows insecurity. You know, now
Right.
you should have, and this is like on average, like when you know a game is going to be great. Gamers know a game is going to be great after 3.5 minutes because
Yeah,
we're looking at the intro. You're like, okay, what the world? What type of world is this? Okay, then you see the character. You're like, okay, all right, well, you know, and then you get smacked with gameplay. You get introduced to the conflict of the world, and then the thing turns off. What else do you need? You don't need anything else. I didn't see any of that with Back 4 Blood. Back 4 Blood was just, oh, here we go in another generic monster PvP zombie game. I'm like, I'm done with all this. I mean, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
But the ship doesn't sink. You know what I'm saying? Like it's already gone. The
Yeah.
train's already gone because everybody wanted Left 4 Dead. Just being real, like people been wanting Left 4 Dead 3 since the 360. You know, going into the Xbox the first conference, that was one of my top like throwouts. I was like, oh, I know we're going to see Left 4 Dead 3. I know. And so we went through 8 years of wanting Left 4 Dead 3. And we didn't let so many other companies come in and make these like War Z games, these zombie games.
Yeah.
You know, that's basically rip-offs of Left 4 Dead.
Yeah. Every single one of them have been rip-offs of Left 4 Dead.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so now when you get to it where the company that actually made the game made something similar, nobody really cares anymore.
It don't matter.
Like, right.
The fan base is too split. You know, it's too split up because there was a void that you left open, and you let World War Z walk in. Was they're dropping another World War Z? So
there you go.
It's gonna be hard for him, man. I mean, the game looks decent enough. You know, I'm not saying I'm in love with it or anything like that. But you know, if you got a couple homies, man, and everybody decides it's going to get it, it's a good. I think it'd be a good game for the team. But anything that you would play by yourself over an hour, I don't think you would. But
Well, look,
decent enough.
You already got the Predator. You already got, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, no offense. It's like we just got done with Predator. And it's the same thing in a better concept.
Yeah. And that's
yeah.
That's what I was just saying, like with the whole multiplayer thing, like, you know, like I said, like how Matt was saying, like, it's cool, you jump on with your fellas. And it may do, you know, I'll be honest with you, it probably do decently well on Game Pass because of that, and it's free, you know. So if you got Game Pass, you can just download it. You know, if me and Matt, you jump and say, hey, why not? It's free. Let's just play it. Yeah. If it's good, then it sticks. If not, you know, but.
And it's 5v5, if I'm not mistaken, right?
4v1.
It's 4v1?
Yeah, 4v1. It's
All right.
So you know, it's just like you said, like the Predator. Somebody has to be the zombie.
Okay, yeah. Same time. I thought it because like when I saw the multiple monsters in the field, you know, I was like, well, maybe like, you know, your boy like has a team with him, along with like one dude just being a head honcho, but apparently no. All right, whatever. So.
I think he still got like his
and that's the
wave
problem.
base.
Like,
goodness,
you know, in every game, and it doesn't change because, like, I remember what's the studio that makes used to make Fable?
Lionhead.
Yeah, Lionhead. They made a statement saying the reason why they stopped working on Fable because Microsoft said they didn't want those type of games.
Yep.
So when I look at the list of the games that's coming out, for the most part, they're either co-op or multiplayer. And that's that's why I'm saying with Starfield. But anyway, we're going past it. But it's like, what's the, you know, and Microsoft hasn't learned the lesson of, and this is why when people complain about Sony not having first party multiplayer, like I just don't think there's a need for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I told my friend, one of the guys on that does YouTube and stuff had a podcast. I was talking to him about it, like, and he's like, you know, Sony should have one. And I was just telling him, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, if you don't have a handful of multiplayer games that you're playing in 2021, then that's your fault. That means that you suck at the games or just don't like them because there are too many. There's too many of them. You got Overwatch, you got Paladins, you got Rainbow Six Siege, you got Call of Duty, Call of Duty Warzone, you got Overwatch, you got Destiny. You got PUBG, you got Rainbow Six Siege, you got, you know, Counter-Strike and Valorant on PC. Like, it's literally just riddled, you know, Fortnite, Apex Legends. You know,
if you look at it from a business standpoint, there is no real entry into that market for you to be successful.
No.
Because you're not boxing with Call of Duty. Battlefield looks, I know we haven't talked about Battlefield yet. Battlefield looks absolutely wonderful. But I guarantee you Call of Duty is going to crush it sales-wise. It's going to destroy it. It's too much in that space, man. You can't win.
Well, think about it like this right here. So we've literally tapped every single flavor of multiplayer with first person. There is not another flavor to untap. Like we've had like some of the worst of the worst, like where it's just like a first person, you just watch it. Like you know what I'm saying? What was the name of that game? But it's like a drift. We didn't have first person when you ain't doing jack except for looking around. We didn't have first person VR. We didn't have first person shooters. We didn't have first person action. We didn't have first person RPG. We didn't have first person everything. So it's like, look, no offense to you, pimping. Maybe third person is the way to go. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you need to figure out how we can get second person. You know what I'm saying?
Second person. Maybe fifth person.
Maybe we need some development in second person view games. You know what I'm saying?
Because every game Microsoft showed, like none of them is story based.
No.
None of them. And it's like even the cool one that they showed at the end, the trailer was nice, little vampire looking thing.
Man, that thing was trash, bro.
That's four-player co-op.
That's what I'm saying though, but that's my point. Like, that's my point. Like, how do you like and so they don't realize that this is the reason why Sony is winning, because you don't need if it's like okay, we all family, right? So we getting together for Christmas dinner. So we like, well, there's the whole family, so everybody brings a plate. Why do everybody bring chicken? You see what I'm saying? Like, why you know what I'm saying? Everybody's bringing chicken. So out of 20 different families,
no vegetables or no drink. We ain't got nothing there. No plates.
Everybody's bringing chicken. Just bring chicken. Just chicken, not baked chicken, fried chicken. Just chicken. Just bring chicken. That's what we got here. Everybody's just bringing chicken. I'm like, and they don't understand. Like Sony's like, we got chicken. Trevor Shore, I brought some seafood. Matt show up and say, hey, I brought some tacos. So he's always like, oh, we gonna eat good. Yeah. What you want? Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what's happening now. Like, you just don't. It's like everybody gets it besides Microsoft. Like everybody gets it.
No, and Nintendo is killing the game with this. Like they be offering suckers buffets. You know what I'm saying? Like, Nintendo be like, I don't even know what this game is about, but you will.
I know you got $60. My name Nintendo.
Yeah, my name is Nintendo. So give me my $60 to play. Like give me my stuff and go on about your business, man. I'm gonna give you the spirits. So yeah. I mean, as I was saying,
give me a wallet. Thank you. Enjoy Metroid 3 10 years from now.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, until then, play this Metroid clone that we just got this indie developer to make for you. Look, they get the game. They get the game so well. They understand people. They know you can't go too long without having something, right? Microsoft has not learned that lesson yet.
But see, the thing about Microsoft is, okay, I mean, if whoever's listening to this, whenever you're listening to it, if you listen to analyze everything that we said from beginning to this point, is that Microsoft has a formula. It's a math to it. It's math. It's formulaic. I need to be able to get 3 or more people to play this game at one time. I need to be able, I want to draw people into my ecosystem, because once they're in my ecosystem, I can control their buying habits. I have them for $15 and I will have DLC for them and their friends to buy inside of my ecosystem, generating me money, generating me wealth, making me profitable. It's a formula, man. It's a math to it. And when you become formulaic, there is no room for no room for expansion. There's no room for growth. You know what I'm saying? If you put in the same numbers and you get out the same numbers all the time, what's the point? So that's the issue. From here on out, and I've said it 1,000 times, from here on out, every Microsoft game, everyone they push is gonna have some type of full player co-op for you to play. It's just facts, man.
Yeah, they're gonna nickel and dime folk. Like even in free to play stuff, they're gonna find a way. So piggybacking off that, Contraband, which once again, nobody cares.
What is it?
Saying? Like, we don't know what it's about.
Nobody knows what it is.
It's like, tell me what it's about. It's a new game, was briefly teased by Steely Dan's Do It Again, developed by Avalanche Studios. The trailer was relatively vague, about its premise, but we know that it'll be a co-op open world game. Well, wow, what to do? We've seen that once again. tapped out. Open world games also tapped out. I'm actually almost at a point now where I'd rather have a linear game, you know what I'm saying, with purpose, because these open world games be like purposeless and big and empty. You know,
Assassin's Creed earlier.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed, man, open, like purposeless, big and empty.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can walk around the woods and get attacked by an animal. Whoop de doo. You know what I'm saying? I can do that in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not nothing real. So now we get to get the Battlefield 2042, which I found it funny that they're actually following Call of Duty's formula. They've gotten to the point now where they have to zoom forward in time.
Yeah. They had to do.
They have to go forward.
Break up the norm, man. You got to do something different.
So it's funny to me because it feels like as much as people want to holler about Battlefield being a better game, which I'm gonna be real, around 2 and 3, like when 3 dropped, I was like, yeah, you know, for real, like you couldn't play that game the same way you play Call of Duty. You still can't. But as far as like the track record of the story and how they're progressing, they're literally riding on Call of Duty's coattail. They'll stall out 3 years and copy the same formula and then make it into a game for Battlefield. You know what I'm saying? Like so every 3 years, you know what I'm saying? If you go back 3 years, to like the game that was popping or something like that for Xbox, for Call of Duty, 9 times out of 10 Battlefield's now trying to do a DLC or a full game about it. So it's like that's the same situation. It's like, okay, yeah, we got this beautiful thing with dudes like shooting people in air with the bazooka. That's cute. But once again, what is this freaking game about? And people are like, well, it's about Battlefield, baby. We just gonna be out here blowing stuff up. I'm like, hasn't every game, literally, every multiplayer game you played in the past 5 years done the same thing? It's the exact same thing. Yeah. I'm like, your homies make the game. This is a
your friends make it. You're right, bro.
No. I'm just gonna make this point. If your friends make the game good, the game is trash. I want you to process that. If you're playing it because your homies playing it, the game is trash. If the game can't stand on its own when you just turn it on, just playing it and not waiting for nobody else to jump on.
Yeah, you definitely gotta have a squad with this one.
Let's keep it at 100. Let's keep it at 100 right now. If I can't turn on a multiplayer game and just enjoy it, now as much as trash as I hate Fortnite, okay, I'm on the record, I hate Fortnite. But one of the things that I can't say about Fortnite is that when I turn it on, the people don't just enjoy it. They ain't looking for nobody else. They'll find people to play with. Yeah. Among Us. They ain't looking for nobody else. Yeah. Just have fun, right? Just have fun. You know what I'm saying? So name me a freaking multiplayer game, first-person shooter that came from EA or Call Me or Activision, somebody that did not require them always saying, you got to have your friends. Right. Play with your friend. I'm like, why? I was like, no offense to you. And this is like sounds real antisocial, but I'm just keeping it at 100. Why do I need you?
Well, because you if your friend comes, he has to buy the game too.
I mean, we get that. Listen, that's the crack. That's the sauce. That's the sauce of this.
That's the secret sauce.
That's a secret sauce, man. They do not want to say, look, this game is trash, but it would be better if you and your homies played with it. Now, let me take you back to the playground, okay? There was a jungle gym out there that you could play on your own. The trashiest thing to play on in the playground was a goddamn jungle gym. Nobody want to get on that thing. But when your homies got on, guess what you could do? You could play chicken. You can play all these other things, right? It made the jungle gyms like dope, right? But whenever that sucker left, the jungle gym was trash again.
See,
these games are jungle gyms to me. I'm looking at them and I'm like you do not offer me anything. Like there's no basketball goal here. There's no you just giving me jungle gyms.
So Trevor, what you're saying is that this game is like a chicken sandwich, but until you put that brioche bun and that sauce on it, that's what makes it pop. Dude. Like, I'm about to go churches. Not churches. I'm going to Popeyes tomorrow.
Like it's formulaic, man. It's formulaic. Because like even when you look at, and that's why I was saying kind of like it's like they want to do, and I have to say I don't know. Well, it just feels like more of an American gaming thing. Mm-hmm. Do less, make more money.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna give you, like even if you look at Fallout 76, right?
Yeah.
Like when are they going to add content to the game?
They ain't.
Outside of, you see what I'm saying? Like outside of multiple ways of spending money in the game.
They're not.
But never no content. And so I'm not mad at, like if you want to make money, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, the reason why I went to play in 14 was because you can buy stuff in 14. You know what I'm saying? People buy $30 mounts, $40 mounts.
Yeah.
But Square puts in content though.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a story there. Like there's literally there's more story in 14. Like I just went through Realm Reborn. It took me two weeks of me coming home every day playing it. And there's a literally fully functionable story within the game. And that's not even counting the side quests that branch off that have stories.
Exactly.
And that's in the MMO.
Yeah.
You know, and so when Endwalker comes out, there's more story. There's more stuff to buy.
Yep.
But there's more story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you feel like, okay, I'm invested. So like when I see Sea of Thieves and things like that, like I'm like, dude, they shouldn't even be charged. Like this should be against the law. You shouldn't even be. Yeah, this should be free. Like you're literally charging people money for a free to play game with no content in it outside of you grinding, you know, for 2 or 3 weeks to get 1 or 2 things. And then the main thing is you go in the cash shop and then you buy, you know, stuff for your ship. And then 3 months later, when everybody stops, you know, participating, then there's a new commercial for new things to buy, and, you know, 2 hours of something to do, you know, and that's where they're taking Halo. That's where they're taking, like, you know, Sea of Thieves is like that, and, you know, Ground is that way. Like everything is a battle pass. Like you went, you know, Battlefield, much as I actually enjoy playing Battlefield, it's like people's like, you know, I don't see the problem with it not having a campaign. Well, it's really not that it doesn't have a campaign. You know, if you don't want to put a campaign in the game and charge $70, fine, but it should have more than 7 maps.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you cutting the content, like why don't I have more maps?
Yeah, and that's the same thing, man. You know, with Battlefield, man, when I saw it, at first I'm like, you know, Battlefield, I ain't playing that joint. But then you look at it, it is, I mean, man, it's so chaotic, it has to be fun. You know, everything seems like so crazy, but then you start to kind of look at what they're offering, and, you know, 7 maps, so not a lot, you know, if you go be like all multiplayer. So like you said, there's some stuff that's missing from it. I think it'll be good. I don't think it'll be a bad game. It looks like it'll be fun in its own way. Yeah. That price tag has me a little iffy. I'm probably not gonna drop it day one. I'm probably not gonna spend that money for it and wait on a deal or a sale. I think that'd be the biggest thing for me.
Oh, they're gonna have a high adaption rate for the beginning, though. I mean, that's no doubt. I mean, because people have been fiending for something that's not Call of Duty. So like it's either gonna be Call of Duty or it's gonna be Battlefield. That's been the MO for like the past 7 or 8 years.
Yeah,
actually almost 10 years right now. Almost like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like that's been the MO. If it ain't Battlefield, it's Call of Duty. It's always been a battle. Everybody else is trying to get noticed in that number. You know, no offense to Halo. Sorry, Pimpin', you ain't in this conversation anymore. You know what I'm saying? Gears of War, you ain't in this conversation anymore. You've done bad business for too long to be in this conversation now. So yeah, but yeah, Battlefield, have fun with your jungle gym. Yakuza like a dragon, like we said earlier, is coming to Game Pass. That's a dope game. You know what I'm saying? Like really good game. Got slept on, and it's crazy. It's a movie. If you have not seen the movie, please look that sucker up. It's dope. The 12 minutes. I'm not gonna talk bad about this game. It actually looks somewhat interesting. You know, 12 minutes. But once again, it's one of them joints that I was like, okay, you showed us this last year. And we didn't get any information about it last year. So how in the world are you gonna have an indie game and not really have like a definitive situation with that? But that's a whole nother situation.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing really too new on that. You're absolutely right.
You know
I mean, it looks straight. It looks straight.
I mean, I'm saying I don't got nothing. But I'm just saying, like, as far as like once again that formula, that Xbox formula, they've shown this already. And I'm like, Pimmy, you showed us this last year,
right?
Literally to the date, you showed us this doggone thing last year, and you still ain't got nothing else to do. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Rico all over again. New Psychonauts 2. You know, Psychonauts got its own crowd. I ain't got nothing bad to say about it. So kudos to people that are looking for that game. You know,
not a terrible game, but you know, nothing I would throw my money at. But good Game Pass game. Yeah, good Game Pass game. So yeah, I got Game Pass. I might as well play it.
Pay for it.
Dummy.
You pay for the game, bro. So you might as well
download every game. No,
That's
JG,
right.
was it the JG Whitford? My money, I need it now. I need
Yeah,
this
that
game.
ain't right.
Now.
You know what I'm saying? You better get it in there. You know, so get it while it's hot.
Yeah, well, it's booming, baby.
Because don't forget now, they still take games off Game Pass. We ain't getting there right now though. Doom Eternal is getting a new next gen upgraded console update. So people who love Doom Eternal get 6 frames per second with ray tracing. Though it has it looks good. I mean,
graphically,
so that's a situation. Bethesda's got that. Somerville, I think they showed us this last year as well.
I think I like that one.
Yeah, like that. I think they showed that last year as well. That one's coming out in 2022. New Fallout 76 expansion. We ain't gonna talk about that because it's Fallout 76. The Hades,
but it is the pits, which I do like the pits on Fallout 3. It's my favorite expansion. So
that's fair. So yeah, but we'll see if it's not the pits. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll see if they actually make it into something and it not just be like you just diving money and throwing it in a pit. Hades, which is a dope game, is coming to Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Once again, that's a good ad for Game Pass.
Yeah, that's a good pickup.
It's good. It's a good pickup. Then they got Halo. Oh my goodness, Halo Infinite, y'all. Halo Infinite. Infinite.
All right, so let me do this. Yeah, let me do this. I'm gonna say this right. So you tell me this game's supposed to drop November last year, and we are in June 2021, brand new year. The virus over. Everybody getting the vaccine. Virus over, right? You know what I'm saying? The world is open back up. Inflation is getting higher every day. You can't even buy a used car, right? You know, so, the economy is booming. You know who's booming? 343. Because let me tell you what 343 did while we was at the house, locked up. They was robbing Microsoft blind. I ain't never seen this type of grand larceny in my whole natural life. Last person who did this was Bernie Madoff, and he died in prison. That's where he died in prison. That's the last person to do this, The last crook. Well, hold on, I was about to get political. Let me dial that back. Last person that stole something from the government. He's not elected anymore. I'm gonna say that. People go to jail. People get hit with treason charges. They lock these people up for storming the Capitol building. They need to lock up 343. They was right there with them. I can't believe they did this to Halo. If I'm at Bungie right now, I'm sitting back in my chair looking at this child. I can't believe they took my baby and did this to him.
Yeah, I'd be mad.
Monstrosity, because they ain't even show no doggone gameplay. They ain't show no gameplay. That was cinematic. It was Captain the Engine.
And here we go again. That this has been my biggest problem with these suckers, man. Is that like people refuse to give us gameplay. I'm like, so they showed us gameplay last year.
Yeah,
trash.
It was
trash.
It's bad.
Right? Like there's no other thing called it but trash.
Yeah, it's still the same thing. It's the same game.
Same game. So now remember. Now in 2019, when they showed us that first trailer for Halo Infinite, and it was so doggone polished. You know what I'm saying? This is right. It was super clean. I remember people talking about, oh, look at the textures on Master Chief's suit and all this other stuff. And right. And then last year we got the actual gameplay, and it looked like a dude named Otis was making the game.
Bootleg Destiny.
Yeah, pretty much. So and now we're looking at this, and they're like, here's a story trailer. I'm like, okay. Who is that? Like, first off, who is this fake Katana chick? 1, 2, why they once again, like, they don't show us no gameplay. 3,
no gameplay.
3, why is Halo Infinite not already released?
Thank you.
Like on a real it shouldn't take you a whole nother year.
Forever.
Yeah. You should have said this game is coming out next week. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine a vote of confidence? And people would have had for that. They're like, oh my goodness, we didn't even know. And how many people have been flooding the stores to pre-order?
Yeah.
Because of vote of confidence, we're done. This right here once again shows weakness. Hey, we're gonna give it to you in the holiday of 2021. They didn't even give you a date.
You know why? Because they don't know what to do with Halo, because
that's facts.
Because if you look at October or November, where they typically like to put Halo out at,
Mhm.
You're competing against you're trapped in the middle now of Battlefield and COD.
Yeah.
You know, and not only on top of that, you're at the mercy of Fortnite and Apex Legends
Yep.
when they're doing their seasons.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Because that's why it would like how to what you were saying, and Matt, like it would have been really smart to put out Halo like now.
Now.
Or what is it,
Summer
June?
game.
Yeah, July, August, September.
Blew up.
See, right, because there would be nothing else to play.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so everybody want to try it. You know, Matt would probably be like, yo, I downloaded it. I'm playing this dope. Then I'll be like, is it really good, Matt? And he's like, man, I'm telling you, this is good.
And
And then
boom.
next thing, then I'm going to go to the Xbox and I'm going to go play. I'm going to go,
Clockwork.
you know, right.
Yeah.
But like, you know, you put it in the holidays of all that, you know, and that's one of the things where I really, you know, and it sounds crazy, but I think they could Bungie a check to move Destiny.
You're probably right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I really
Yeah.
believe because there's no reason, there's no way that I believe that Destiny, you know, couldn't be like, oh, we don't have time to finish it. So we're gonna come out next year sometime. There was a check cut.
Mm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't know, dude. Like that's, you know, Microsoft needs, I'm gonna be honest with you, like most of them cats need to be fired.
Yeah.
I'm just being
Facts.
real.
Yeah, man.
Like
'cause
Phil, they need to clean house and just say, hey, we need to start over.
They need
see-
some. Oh, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
they got the money, right? They got the money, and the next step is we need to get the talent, right?
Mhm.
So that correlation ain't really connected because, okay, so go back to what I said earlier. I want Microsoft to win. I want Microsoft to win because hell, I remember playing 99 Nights, right? 99 Nights.
99 Nights,
I
yeah.
remember
yeah.
playing Blue Dragon. I remember playing Gears for the first time. I remember all that stuff.
Yeah.
I remember the OG Xbox playing that. And all that stuff was great. And I feel like they had the right talent there where we had a real American-based gaming community that was making great games, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But now they can't even buy it. They
Yep.
can't even throw money to fix the situation. And everybody,
You know-
you know, if you hop on forums, everybody's like, oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. But then the money is going to waste. Three,
Yep.
four,
You know
three.
why? Because because it's like how Trevor was saying, it's multiplayer.
Yep.
Multiplayer really ruined the 360.
Yep.
Like all them games like Infinite Discovery, Last Remnant, Star Ocean was exclusive, Mass Effect was exclusive. Like you had all these Alan Wake.
Alan
They was
Wake.
making games, and then and they still had multiplayer. So I'm not saying you shouldn't have multiplayer, but they got so reliant on that. We got the big three. We got Gears, we got Halo, and COD. They got so reliant on it that they figured like we don't really need these other games. Because even Phil Spencer came out 4 years ago and said that nobody wants to play single player right before Zelda and Horizon Zero Dawn wiped the floor with their ass.
Yeah.
Well, and he
Yeah.
referenced both of them.
Right.
In the interview, he said it out of his goddamn mouth in February of 2017 that nobody wanted Horizon Zero Dawn and nobody wanted Breath of the Wild. And like literally both of them were in the top with a game of the year contenders, and Breath of the Wild won. Horizon lost by a smidgen, literally a smidgen of a mark. And there was not a Xbox game to be found.
And man,
In that
looking at
conversation.
Halo, you know, like Bobby said earlier, you caught it too, Trevor. I also caught it. They literally, until somebody tells me different, until I see any like form of like documentation or paperwork or release, they have split the story and they have split the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Because they did show brief gameplay of multiplayer
Brief.
that did not look polished at all. That did not look good. All right.
Brief.
So I want to lay that out there.
It was
They
brief.
showed brief gameplay of the multiplayer. So once again, if we go back to the Master Chief Collection, if we go back to Halo 4, 343 can't make a Halo game that runs. Not day one. They can't make it that runs. They couldn't
been
make
there, yeah.
they couldn't make the Master Chief Collection run. It took them 3 years to get that straight after
3?
release.
Your thing
Yeah, it was still messed
it's
up.
still broke.
Halo 4 was messed up off the rip. They can't make one that runs. And then literally to save their ass, and I'm pretty sure they set them boys down and said, y'all better have me something by November or it's going to be hell and high damn water. So what did they do? They split that campaign. They probably will give you a 3-hour campaign and here's the multiplayer with a handful of maps. Oh, we're going to be updating this constantly. Yeah, we're going to give you
Constantly,
one map
right.
every 8 months.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's what
Man,
I'm saying.
get
Like
3,
that,
4,
and
3
I
out of
guarantee you, every campaign update and multiplayer update with map will time itself right to a battle pass, a $10 battle pass.
Thank you.
Yep.
You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's when that's what you'll pay for.
Because
Yep.
they didn't even show my monkey, man. They ain't show Craig. They see Craig Newman.
Craig was missing because they knew
Craig Newman.
they knew they're like we can't show Craig
Yeah.
again. It's like go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I was like, I always say, like, if you got that type of money, right? Like, you can't tell me, like, Microsoft does what Microsoft wants to do.
Yeah.
So, like, if you run Microsoft, you got money. There's too many like IPs that are good that just sit there that nobody's doing anything with. So if you're Microsoft, you could win the EA because you got relationships with a lot of these American game companies. You could have literally went to EA and say, hey, you know what? Give us Army of Two, give us Dante's Inferno. You know what I'm saying? That you know, these are not just whack games. These are actually good games. Or you could have snatched up Dead Space.
Yeah.
If you'd have come out today and said, you know,
man.
if you'd have came out and said, well, here's Dead Space redefined or whatever, exclusively on Xbox, you're right, and gameplay footage. Like you could have went
positive. Sony would have sold them Siphon Filter.
No
right.
facts.
You could have went to was it Ubisoft and threw enough money, and there goes South. There go what's my game? God Almighty,
Prince of Persia.
Nah, the one that's always on Xbox. Oh God,
What's that?
Conviction was on the 360.
Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
Splinter Cell, yeah.
Right, here was Splinter Cell. You know what I'm saying? Because Ubisoft don't want to make it for the same reason. They don't want to make story games.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? So it's like because like even Sony does it. Like Sony sees something like they say, well, we kind of on the fence and we don't know if we want to make Street Fighter. And so it's like, well, we know our fan base likes it, so here, don't worry about it. We'll just pay for it.
Yep.
You just make it. We'll, you get your cut, and we'll pretty much pay for it.
Same thing with Tekken.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So you can go in there and literally buy games that's dormant, and you would have had a way better showing than today.
Yeah.
Way better showing.
I mean, on the real, like people have been giving it a bad rap, but let's keep it at 100. Games from the PS1 and PS2 era, them games are untouchable.
Oh yeah,
man, like that. There's like at least 70 to 80 games just in that realm.
Golden age, man.
Golden that you can pull and be like, yo, we just gonna just rebuild it.
Yeah,
you ain't gotta add nothing to it. Just rebuild the freaking game and throw the sucker back out, and it will blow up in this generation because they be like, where did this game come from? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's why I was joking with Cass about Crash Bandicoot. I'm like, as much as y'all hated on us for telling y'all that Crash Bandicoot was harder than the Dark Souls game, people was like, no, you lying. And then they re-released it, and people was like, this sucker's harder than the Dark Souls game. I said, we told y'all this freaking game was hard.
Tough.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing. It's a perfect example. How y'all win the Activision, and now it's like, they might well have left it with Sony. You know what I'm saying? Because Sony was the only one that really knew what to do with it. So you might well left Crash 2 with Sony. But that's the same thing right there. Like, why not go if you see millions of people buying Crash and they're excited, then why wouldn't you go back to Rare and say, okay, on the back end, are you working with Sea of Thieves? we need a Banjo and Kazooie. This just makes sense. Like, why do Psychonauts? Not knocking Psychonauts 2, because I think it's a cool game. But I would have rather had a Banjo and Kazooie game than a Psychonauts game.
Well, Banjo-Kazooie ain't got no multiplayer, bro. So
That's my point. That's my point. That's my whole point. If it doesn't have co-op or multiplayer in it, they're basically telling you we're not making it.
Yeah, we don't want it. We don't want to invest in it. Man.
Absolutely.
We're not making it.
And Halo, man, and the thing about Halo is never going to be what they want it to be. All right, that it's over, man.
Not anymore.
Yeah, it's over, bro. Like you gotta know, okay, we've all been in several different relationships. You gotta know when to tell that girl, you gotta get out of my house. You know what I mean? You gotta know when to tell that girl, I need another one of you. I got, what Nino Brown say? Get rid of her, I'll get another one. No, what he say? What Nino say?
Which is true.
I mean,
even Paris, as much as me and Paris disagree on a lot of stuff, even Paris came out and said that Halo doesn't matter to my kids.
Yeah.
No,
he knew that. He knew that. He's like, Halo needs to come out flawless.
Who
he
cares?
said because if it doesn't catch my children, which are teenagers and young, it doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
Funny.
Yeah,
It's
go
funny
ahead, bro.
that you say that, right? So I watched the Microsoft conference with my wife, right?
Mhm.
And the only things that she liked was, okay, she was grounded, saw grounded. Oh, what's the bugs? Okay, you got
Mhm.
grounded and all that stuff. And I like to think, they're probably more in tune with like the TikTok and like the pop culture stuff that's going on right now, like what
Yeah.
really attracts like the kids.
Yeah.
And you see all this other stuff, man. You see Master Chief floating around in space. What's cool about that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's cool about that? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
in this current generation, it doesn't have context. Like, so if they had actually gave you context, it would work. But the problem is that like Microsoft leaves a lot of their games without context, so you can't know what the game's about because you have to pretty much guess what this game's going to be about. And people are like, well, we have a story for Halo. No, we don't. We don't know what the story of Halo is anymore because we've gotten multiple books that have all been dang near like talking in circles about what's actually going on because 4 and 5 were such terrible games that it kind of warped the idea of what we were supposed to be doing. 5, especially making Cortana like a villain. I was like, how in the world do you come off of Cortana waking this sucker up to come back and then her be the villain?
they don't even know. They don't even know if they want to
that?
kill Cortana or not, man.
They didn't
do.
They didn't gave us Bortana or whatever this girl name is now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Portana. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't know who she is, but then they gave us another one. And she like talking to Chief, like she been talking to Chief for like thousands of years. I'm like, where you come from?
Bro, I'm being real, man.
It don't make sense, man. Like so, yeah, but yeah. So I'm
get rid of 343.
Yeah, 343 need to go on.
Get them out of there, man.
Them suckers went from rendering helmets in Halo to making Halo. You have to let that sink in.
I think it's time for Sega to activate their contract breach. They did all the music go with the Dreamcast when they gave them. Yeah, I think it's time for Sega to take back over.
Gotta hear come around and hit shit.
Like-
Transform.
And Sega just pop out the side with a briefcase.
It's time to.
We're gonna
like,
exercise our
money-
right to leave.
Yeah, Money in the Bank. It's time for Money in the Bank. Like, yeah, we want our company back. Like, yeah, you know, it's
We cashed Oh, he's going with the money in the bank. He's gonna cash it in. Say he's cashing in.
Just come in and hit Phil Spencer in the head with a briefcase. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean on the real, like that, something needs to happen. But so after this, they show ESO, which I thought that was to me, I thought that was absolutely hilarious. That right after they show Halo, they show ESO online. I said, "Oh, look at y'all telling them, giving us context clues of what y'all trying to do." So it's like okay. I say like so they're getting their upgrade for this generation as well. No changes really, except for maybe making 6 frames per second. 6 frames per second on Xbox 360 graphics doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. Just saying,
And the same thing for Skyrim. They're like, oh, 60 frames per
60
second.
frames per second. Look at these guard rays. I'm like, yeah, I see those broken guard rays.
Yeah, man. So you mean tell me you diverted your talent from working on Starfield?
Yeah,
to put 60 frames per second.
60 frames per second on each one of these things, Skyrim. Yeah, that's what happened.
Re-examine your priorities.
Pretty much, yeah.
Especially you, Todd. I hope you hear this, Todd. You know how much shit I talk about you, Todd? You too, Pete. I hope you're hearing this as well, man. Come to my house. I work. I won't say it on here, but I'm an easy man to find. Come to my job. I'll talk to you. Sell your TV too. Come to my job. Find me at the McDonald's. I'm gonna eat a chicken sandwich. Waiting on you.
Then we had Party Animals, which the Game Pass game, which says it all. Diablo 2.
Okay, yeah, that's a good Game Pass game.
Yeah, Diablo 2. I was like, I'm sorry, bro. I'm just. How many times have we had Diablo 2? They're almost they're not we're almost at the point where it's Skyrim, bro. Don't let it go, man. Let it go.
All right, I got it. Look, I'm gonna buy it. All right, I'm gonna buy it. Matt, I got 64.
Matt, we're gonna have it,
and that's okay.
It's okay. For
It's okay. It's okay to fall to your sometimes. You have to feed you. You have to feed. Yeah, you're right. It's true. Everybody has one.
I'm like, damn, Diablo 2. Damn, buy that.
Just remember your boy said. You remember your boy said, "Don't you have a cell phone?" Nexus plays. Plague Tale sequel, which is coming out. Plague Requiem. It's Plague Tale's Requiem. This says launching sometime in 2022 again. Like,
Game had a
we
good
don't
story.
have no date. So, Diablo is September 23rd. By the way,
Yeah,
people want to
Diablo.
know this. And then we got the Forza Horizon, which honestly was beautiful game set in Mexico.
Yeah.
It's messed up too. Because I'm like sitting here, I'm like, as good as this game look, all I get to do is drive around the goddamn car. That's the first. That's like immediately every single time I see a Forza game, that's what I think. I'm like, oh, this game is so beautiful. Too bad I got to stay in the car the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're working because they're working on the new Fable, right? The studio behind Forza.
I don't know.
I got to take a look at it because I want to see
Give
them.
me a second. Nah, I'll look it up now.
Yeah, because I don't have nothing bad to say about Forza. That's one thing.
I don't. Know what I'm saying?
Honestly, that's their probably best thing they have. Like to me, is like especially Forza Horizon. I love that's a really good racing game.
Yeah,
when they did the shot over the over like the mountainscape when the car was driving in, I like, damn.
Okay,
man,
you are correct. Forza is doing Playground is doing Fable 4. So yeah, to say the same folk that so that means that there's at least hope for environmental for Fable to be like immaculate because they get environment. Like if there's any praise I can give them, I'm not. This is not no shade towards because cars are phenomenal, but I'm talking as far as like the environment of the game literally looks like you blinked and you open your eyes and you're looking at the terrain of the place that they told you were going to be. That right there is phenomenal. So I got to give them
Xbox.
Xbox. I'm just mad that I can only drive a car through the city. That's the only problem I got. I was like, dang, it'd be nice if I could just get out the car and at least walk through the town, man. That makes the town be so lit.
I always wondered why they haven't really even made a racing game like that. Like that's one thing. That's one thing about racing games I've been wondering about. Like what's the next like staged racing game? Kind of like what you're saying, Trevor. Like when do you get out the car? When do you get to kind of like, it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto. I always thought Midnight Club was going in the right direction.
Yeah, Midnight Club will stay funding though. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you remember EA did it was Need for Speed Run or something like that. And they tried it, but it was a bad move. I mean, like, they didn't have no vision for it. No way.
I think they spend so much time working on this is not a bad thing. Just be honest. They got to spend so much time, development time on actually getting the cars to drive, run, and look right. Yeah. That if they would try to do anything else, they probably just couldn't do it time-wise. It'd probably take them 10 years to do it.
Look, bro, I gotta respectfully disagree because you don't even need a person. You just need first person view. First person. And I don't need no shoes or hands to be first person. All I need
to the J's on.
Man, no. Think about it now, because the thing they're gonna be stuck on is you can't really see a person. Well, screw that. You don't care. I don't care about seeing the person. I just want to be able to walk around the city.
Now, you know what I'm saying? This is where I will give Sony some kudos with the VR because VR brings racing to life.
It does.
It really does. Like Drive Club was like, I never played the Gran Turismo on it, but the Drive Club I played a lot. And the Drive Club was like on a whole different level. Like it's one thing to sit here and play a nice racing game on a monitor or a nice, 60 or 70 inch TV, but it still breaks immersion because it's a TV. But when you slide that VR helmet on and you're actually in the race, that's
it's a different experience.
Nice. Yeah,
it's a different experience. Which I think on the real augmented reality and VR are your last bastions. Like on the real, I mean, it's like for racing. I don't. Graphics wise, we're gonna tap out. I think honestly, to me, this Forza taps it out. It looks like so far. I mean, I'm like you can't. It's like PlayStation may get a Gran Turismo 7, whatever, but on the real, this is as far as we've seen, this is tapped out. Like this is like you left no water in the bottle. You squeezed the bottle and shook it. There's nothing left. Like they did everything right. Like
they proved they was the A-team, man. They proved Playground Pro that as far as Microsoft's concerned, we the best. Come see us.
The absolute standard bearer of Microsoft right now is Playground.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
This was stole the show to me. This was the best thing they showed.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? And they were very open. It was very like on top of that, they made sure it was tied to the culture, which I appreciate that because they wasn't just we in Mexico and it didn't like actually show you that it was actually Mexico. I gotta give them props for that. They didn't just go out and scan a couple of streets and keep it moving into just like most race games, then they just start putting shacks out, you know? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
They're like, they ain't gonna see it no way. They gonna zoom past it like this, sucker slow down. And it's like, 1994 graphics, you know what I'm saying? Like they're like, we ain't gonna go that route. They actually took the time to really make it into something that would really matter. So I will give props to them for that. That's also got a actual date. This shows you confidence. November 9th, 2021. It will come out on November 9th, 2021. Yeah. Let's just keep it at 100. So
they the best Microsoft got to offer. And if 343 making more money than them, they need to riot. They need to shut the place down. Real talk.
They need to be a fight club fight in the parking lot right there to figure
because if I'm
Microsoft, Xbox. You know how Xbox,
if I'm Microsoft, if I divert the majority of my resources to them, I think what's going to happen is how Guerrilla Games had Killzone. Killzone's an afterthought now. And they said, hey, we want you guys to do something different and do Horizon Zero Dawn. Or they went to Sony and said, hey, we want to do something different. And now Horizon Zero Dawn, this is, I'll keep it all the way 100. It's number 2 to God of War. And in some people's minds is above God of War. I don't think so.
It's gonna be a contentious fight next year, Bo, because right now, Horizon, Insomniac, the fight now, as crazy as it's gonna sound for Sony's side, they have the best problem you could ever have when it's infighting for who's the best.
Yeah, it's too
now outside. So you have Insomniac, like for this particular generation we're in right now, Insomniac, and you have Sucker Punch, which popped in and just slid out like Ghost of Tsushima, which like just rock people, right? Then you got what's the name of your boys? Guerrilla. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Naughty Dog. So it's just keeping it 100. So you got all these cats right now just lined up, ready to show you what quality look like. And honestly, but I don't like Last of Us 2, but it didn't miss.
No,
mechanically superior.
It didn't miss. So it's like you got that, and Insomniac ain't missing. Them suckers put out Ratchet and Clank, and my goodness, that game is foolishly beautiful. I mean, it makes no sense at all, right? So you got that. Then you got, like I said, Sucker Punch with Ghost of Tsushima, which they just keep making the game better. I'm like, just stop. I was like, just stop it. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm curious about Bent.
Oh, bro, man.
Bent working on,
yeah.
See, I was mad because remember you gave me Days ago.
Yeah, facts, yeah.
And I was like, that's when I kind of like let slide by.
I told y'all to play it.
Yeah, right. And I went back and played. I'm like, and within the first probably about the first 2 hours, I'm just like, dude, this is fantastic. Like, why was everybody saying this wasn't good? Like this, there's no way.
I told y'all why the game got bad reviews. Some female got online. She was a reviewer, and she started trashing the freaking game because a dude was looking at his wife. I was like, what? And her review was in the top 5 reviews for the game, so it heavily weighed down the score 4 Days Gone. So then we got other folk hating because they couldn't play the game because they didn't read the instructions that when you get to certain parts of the game that the actual wolves were faster than your freaking car. I mean, than your motorcycle. It's a part of the game. You have to upgrade your motorcycle. They wouldn't upgrade no motorcycle. Which is funny is they had the same. That's what I said. Games journalism is trash because most of the folk we got right now that play video games ain't playing video games because they like it. They're playing it because they're trying to find a doorway to get to something they want outside of gaming. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why being failed. It wasn't their fault because they made a phenomenal game and they were the most receptive studio, more than Naughty Dog, more than Insomniac, more than Sucker Punch. They listened and they said, "Bet we changing this right now." Oh, y'all said y'all wanted extra modes? We changing that right now. They did all that stuff that first year and people still scoffed at them. And then when the game, they buy the game 2 years later and they mad that Sony ain't gonna give them another game.
Yeah.
Well,
What sense does that make? You know, it's like
this
buying,
is a
it's like
phenomenon.
buying Endgame 2 years later. And, you know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna buy Endgame in 2020. Who cares now? The game is straight. I mean, the movie's straight to DVD now. You know? Yeah.
See, this is a phenomenon in gaming journalism, man. A lot of people don't realize it, or they fail to realize it, or maybe they're just blind to it. But it's, I remember reading an article years ago about how they do stars or entertainers in Australia. They build them up to extreme heights and then they utterly like destroy them. But see, it's kind of like in reverse here. Okay, so look at Cyberpunk, right? Cyberpunk and then Days Gone is an excellent example. I'm going to trash this game into utter oblivion. And I'm going to do it for quite some time. Then a year later, I'm going to make an article that says, hey, maybe this game really wasn't so bad.
Right.
Mass Effect Andromeda is a wonderful example of that. If you don't believe me, check out some articles about it. I promise you I'll be right. Because they destroyed that game to the dirt. They destroyed Days Gone to the dirt. And when they said, when the stuff leaked, would say, hey, Sony's not going to make another one. Like, oh, it's a great game. This game isn't so bad, you know? But
Titanfall.
Yeah,
Titanfall got massacred.
Because people don't really, like, they so used to, we coming from a lot of these guys are basically, you got to think about a lot of these journalists we got are really not journalists, they're bloggers. They come from a blogger world or, you know, you're a YouTuber or a video blogger. And you really, when you blog, you do more opinion pieces than you do reviews. Like so this generation don't even realize there's a difference between somebody, you know, the big thing on Twitter and YouTube comment section stuff is, well, it's my opinion. Well, opinions is not a place for reviews though. Like
exactly.
Like you don't. If you're reviewing a Ford Camaro and a Chevy, a Ford Mustang and a Chevy Camaro, you don't put your opinion in it. You review the car. So you like, you know, what's the takeoff speed? What's the comfortability of the car? How does it feel? Like, you know, opinion pieces are what we're getting. Yep. And then people are taking opinion pieces and running with them and saying that's a review.
Yep.
I'm like, that's not a review. Like, you know, because a game can be good. Like, you know, like I tell people about like Ratchet and Clank. Like Ratchet and Clank, for the most part, is fantastic. Now, whether or not you like that type of game or not that's what's subjective. You know what I'm saying? So you know it's like playing a Final Fantasy game. Like you might say, well, this game gets straight 10s, but then if you don't like turn based, then where we at? You know what I'm saying? Yep. So, but that still won't take away from the game being fantastic. It's just maybe a game is not for you.
Exactly.
You know, and that's the crazy thing about journalism, and that kind of building into what you're saying too, Trevor. Like, a lot of these guys, and, you know, I hate to be this way, but especially on the Xbox side, because I feel like there's more room to grow there. Because, you know, because Xbox is needing right now. Like a lot of people don't realize that this is the Dreamcast for them. Yep. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's why everybody's pulling behind them and rooting for them and trying to say, let's wait, because if not, it's a wrap. They become Sega. Yeah, very true. Yep. They become Sega. Like, this is it. Like, this ain't no more. Like, yeah, they got trillions of dollars, but not just to put it in gaming and keep losing either.
Exactly. Like Microsoft is still a business at the end of the day, buddy. You know, so you sit up here and tell folks, well, you know, Microsoft could buy Sony tomorrow. Yeah, they really could, but would they want to?
I mean, they're not connecting the talent with the money, though.
They're not. I mean, like they're thinking, like, do you think Phil Spencer could run PlayStation
to the ground?
Have you? Yeah. It's like do you not even hear yourself talking right now? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you act like buyouts is just so easy. You know, I'm just gonna buy this sucker out and just make it. Well, like, you don't. That's because you don't understand money, and it's okay. Yeah. But it's like you don't understand money, because if you just think they're just gonna blow money because they mad at them, we wouldn't have no businesses.
That was the case. Yep. I mean, Walmart and Disney bought everybody, and it's called a day.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? Every doggone theater will be owned by Disney. Every grocery store will be owned by Walmart. Every food store, every doggone clothing store, Walmart be like, all y'all suckers mine. We just gonna make Walmart Plus, you know?
Be like be like a crazy anime movie from the 80s. Oh, we got these giant corporations own everything. You know what I mean?
Walmart just walking into everybody's business with a briefcase. It's like, hey, what's going on with you? I need this company now. You know, like it's. You know, if it was just that easy, just to spend money to get a company, then I'm like, yeah,
everybody would do it. You know?
Yeah, everybody be doing it. So yeah, that's why whenever I hear a person saying that, I'm like, first off, that's the most gaming thing you could ever say. Because I wouldn't say that if PlayStation had the money to buy Microsoft, I'd never say PlayStation's going to buy Microsoft, because to me that's stupid. Why would I want to buy you suckers when y'all losing?
Yeah,
it's like that.
And I don't know, dude. Like it just seemed like, you don't know. Like I'm still in awe to what people saw. Like, you know, when people was like, you know, this is it, you know, and I'm just like, and here's the sad part about it. Like I was telling my friend a couple of days ago before we even got to the conference that I feel sorry for Microsoft, and then I feel sorry for some of the Sony guys. Because a lot of time you'll see these guys say, well, the Sony guys are the most toxic. They're the most toxic guys and the most toxic. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, people, there's always going to be fun games.
Yeah.
That's just it. You know, it's like we sit here having jokes and giggles right now. So it's always going to be fun and games at some point. But I really believe that most of the Sony guys are really trying to help the Xbox guys.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, like, if y'all stop supporting this, like today, if the Xbox community say, you know what, enough of this shit.
Yeah.
Like, this is bad.
Yeah. Instant change.
You know what I'm saying? This is just the same way they say we wasn't paying double for Xbox Live. And what Microsoft do, they
won't back.
No. So remember, who initiated that? That was PlayStation folk.